You are listening to Confessions of a Counselor podcast with Janice, mental health in bite-sized chunks. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Confessions of a Counselor. I'm your host, Janice, and in today's episode, I thought we would talk about emotional regulation when we're in hyper-arousal. So the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about emotional regulation and what we need to do and the skills we can practice. So today I'm going to specifically focus on hyper-arousal. So when we need to emotionally regulate when we're hyper-aroused. Okay, let's jump right in. So again, just a refresher, in terms of hyper-arousal, this is that state when we are going above baseline. So baseline being that calm, content, kind of able to cope, and hyper-arousal is when the emotions start to get big. They're activating. So things like anger, joy, excitement, um, these types of emotions, anxiety, these are all hyper arousal. So my body is coming from baseline and moving up. Now, we can stay regulated when we're in hyper arousal. This is something that we can experience. So I can feel a little bit anxious about going somewhere new and still be regulated, but having that kind of heightened experience, right? Typically, we see joy as something that we can feel heightened in, right? I'm really excited to see my friend I haven't seen in a while, and we're not typically getting knocked out of our window, even though we are hyper aroused in that moment. So there's different ways in which we can approach this. This conversation, I kind of want to talk about hyper arousal when we get knocked out of our window, right? So I'm feeling anxious or even excited or maybe even angry, and I'm getting knocked out of my window. So now I'm not able to cope with the feeling that I'm feeling. And what do I need to do in order to emotionally regulate when I'm in that heightened state? So this is where we kind of want to break it down because we're going to use different skills when we're heightened versus when we're feeling low. So last episode, we talked about kind of the general skills. This episode, we really want to focus on when I'm going up, how do I come back down? So if I'm being knocked out of my window because of hyper arousal, I want to think about calming things, taking deep breaths, coming back to the moment, getting myself grounded, right? I really want to kind of feel heavy, right? So if I notice my feelings getting up, 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 and I can feel my body shaking and vibrating, then this is where I want to kind of use my skills to come down, right? I kind of see this sense of kind of coming into myself. I want to get grounded. I want to get heavy. I want to come back to that baseline, that okay place. So skills that help us with that are deep breathing, anchoring our thoughts, right? So I'm going to think about the things that I can feel, the things that I can see, the things that I can smell, the things that I can hear, right? These types of calming activities that are really bringing me back to this moment. Um, Counting, right? I'm going to count the number of cars that I see. I'm going to see how many yellow things I can find in this space, right? So things that draw our attention from that kind of hazy, scattered thoughts back to something specific, right? So again, that anchoring feeling. So my breath is going to anchor my body. I'm going to focus on taking a deep breath, anchoring into my body. I'm going to focus on what can I see, right? I can see a lamp. I can see a couch. I can see the clock. I can see a light, right? And start to count how many things can I see. Or perhaps I'm going to try and find all of the things that are yellow or blue or purple in a space. So these types of anchoring activities can really bring us back down to that moment. So when we think hyper arousal, I'm thinking activated, movement, hard to sit still. Things feel really um, fiery and there's lots of movement. So the skills that I'm going to use, the skills that are in my toolbox that kind of anchor me back into myself, those are the skills that I'm going to use. So those are a couple of examples. Obviously, there's lots of different ones that we can use for anchoring, but those are some of the big ones that we can use. So I hope that that's helpful. I hope that that kind of gives you some ideas of what to do when I'm feeling those big activating feelings and what I can do to bring myself down back to the moment. Until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Confessions of a Counselor podcast is available anywhere you like to listen to your podcasts, both on Apple and Android. New episodes are released every Friday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please feel free to join the conversation, leave a review, or subscribe to the podcast hosted on Spotify. You can find all these details on janicelyons.com. Until next time, take care.